Good morning. Today I want to talk about the caravan. I think we've been hearing about it a lot on the news, and I thought maybe you'd like to hear my opinion about it. Here's the thing. From the minute I can remember having a political thought, which was back when I was probably 16, 17 years old and wrote my first letter to the editor, I always felt it was strange that our military was somewhere far, far away. That the brave Americans who joined the military to protect America were not even in America. Okay? So first I have to say, and again, this is not easy for me to say, but I should actually like Donald Trump. And okay, let's not use the word like. I don't like him as a person. I don't like his tweets. I don't like the way he talks about his critics. I don't, because people criticize me, and you don't hear me talking about the people who criticize me and call me horrible names. You don't hear me talking about them the way Donald Trump talks about the people who criticize him. But as for his vision for America and his America First policy, it's kind of something that I've been thinking about almost my entire life. At least since I could have thoughts, political thoughts, which I started having as a teenager. I didn't like the fact that I saw our military brave troops coming home in body bags from Somalia, because I thought, why were we in Somalia? Why is that our business? What's going on in Somalia? Why is it our business? What's going on in Yugoslavia? Why is it our business? What's going on in Iraq? We need our military here. So this is why I have to say now, today, before I even start the actual premise of the show, is that I have come to the conclusion that I don't like Donald Trump. But damn, I respect him. And I respect him. One of the reasons I respect him, not only because he lowered my taxes, which I so appreciate, not only because I didn't pay a penalty for the year I went without health insurance, going against Obama's rules. I didn't have to pay the $600 penalty, so that made me happy. But I respect him because of his America First. You know, every country in this world has borders. And any one of us who decided that we wanted to leave America and move somewhere else, we'd be hard-pressed to do it. And look at me, for example. Look at my husband. We're educated people. We have skills, job skills. And they still don't want us. They don't want us in other countries because they take care of their own citizens first. And that's something America stopped doing. And it is a problem. Now, is this caravan that's coming, is it an invasion? No, it's not. That's overblown. Is it bad for America? Is it bad for our American citizens? Yes, it is. And I'm going to explain why. These people who are walking or coming into this country feeling like they're entitled to come here, what are they going to offer America? Because you see, people say, well, we're all immigrants. Yeah, but see, when my ancestors came to America from Greece, they had something to offer. They weren't coming to America to take from Americans that were here before them. They were coming here to become American, to learn English. And the first place they went after Ellis Island was they came to Lancaster, they came to other towns where there were Greek Orthodox churches. And the church people took them into their own homes, helped them assimilate. My ancestors, by the way, in case you care, They didn't come here and take welfare from their neighbors. They didn't come here with 12 children to support. They came here on their own. And they met their wives here, started their families here, after they had learned English, and started businesses of their own, by the way. My ancestors owned their own businesses. That was their American dream, and they achieved it. And nobody paid for their way. People helped them out through the goodness of their hearts. But nobody's taxes paid for my ancestors to get a house, to have their babies, to go to a doctor, to put food on the table. They did that all on their own. So my question for all of you who think this caravan should just be welcomed with open arms, because after all, they're cute and cuddly. It's women and children and oh. Where are they going to live? These women speak no English. They've got 3 or 4 children. Where are they going to get food to feed these children? When their children get sick, if they're not already sick, where are they going to go to the doctor or the hospital, and who's going to pay those bills? Where are these women going to get a job to support their children? Yes, they all say, trabajar, we want to work. But how many fields do we have? And I'm not being racist. Please put your thumbs away right now. This isn't racist. This is reality. These people who are coming here, they don't have the equivalency of our high school. So who will hire them? Okay? What kind of jobs are they going to get? So I do have to ask, how many lawns do we have in America that need mowed? How many restaurants are going to hire an illegal to do their dishes? Because that's what, unfortunately, these people are qualified for. They don't have a high school education, and they don't speak English. What are they going to do? Go work at a car dealership, sell cars? How can you sell cars to someone if you can't tell them what the car's about in a language that we understand? This is America. We speak English here. Before you guys start calling me a racist, even though I am married to a Latino, and my father-in-law came here from Puerto Rico and learned English and started his own business. He did it, well, of course, he was an American citizen anyway. But anyhow, before you start calling me a racist, let me just ask you this, and I use this a lot. In the book by John Grisham and the movie, A Time to Kill, Matthew McConaughey played the lawyer. He said, close your eyes. Because this was about a little black girl raped and mutilated by a gang of white kids. And it was an all-white jury, and he knew he didn't have a chance. And he said, close your eyes, and then think if she was white. I'm going to ask you this question right now with this caravan. Close your eyes. Think about this caravan moving toward our border, and they feel entitled to be allowed into the United States. Think of them, they don't speak English, they only have a high school education, and they're Russian. Would you still want them just coming on in? They're white Russian people who don't speak English, who have no education, who are going to come into your towns, take over your Section 8 housing, invade, and that's real, invade your emergency rooms when they get sick, because they don't know no doctors. They have no health insurance. They got no money. They're going to take the jobs away from high school students who want to wash dishes over the summer, or mow lawns, or pick lettuce, or clean houses to earn money for their college education. They're going to take those jobs away because that's the only jobs they're qualified for. And then they're still going to be collecting welfare, Medicaid, food stamps, and their kids are going to be going to school with your kids. And because their kids don't speak English, they're going to put the whole class behind. Because the whole class, your American-born children, are going to have to wait for the new non-English speaking kids to catch up. You know that's true. I know it's true because even back when I was in school, we had to wait for the dumbest kid in the class to catch up. Now, I'm not saying the dumbest kid in the class was English as a second language student. They weren't, actually. But it was frustrating for the smart kids that we couldn't keep going. And this is what's going to happen. Can you imagine? They're saying it's the worst case scenario is it's 6,500 people coming here. Mostly women and children. Even if it's 500, I'm asking you, please educate me. Where are they going to go? Who is going to pay to feed them, to house them, to clothe them? Who? I know my husband and I ain't going to do it because that's not our responsibility. We got enough American women and children that we have to take care of because the Democrats take our taxes and give it to them. While we have to worry about what's going to happen when we retire and want our Social Security that we paid into, and we find out, ooh, the welfare mommies took it all. Sorry. No medication for you when you're old and sick. So sorry to tell you the bad news. This is what concerns me. And it should concern you too. Then we have Obama sitting going and, oh my God, do you know what Donald Trump's doing? Obama says. He's taking military people away from their families and sending them to Arizona and Texas. Huh? Well, wait. Isn't the whole point of joining the military? I mean, nobody joins the military and gets to go home for supper every night, right? At home. When you join the military, that's the whole point. You leave your families. I would think, at least for myself personally, as a military wife, I would be much happier if my husband were in America, protecting the American border, protecting American people, rather than have him over in a shithole in Afghanistan looking for Osama bin Laden when Osama bin Laden's in Pakistan and my husband gets killed in Afghanistan. I would rather that my military husband be protecting the American people on American soil rather than giving out candy to Iraqi kids who spit in their faces and tell the American Christian assholes to get the fuck out of their country. They don't appreciate us in those shitholes. You know where we need our military? Right here in America. Do you think that synagogue, that beautiful synagogue in Pittsburgh, would have been shot up if there had been a Marine in uniform, fully armed at the front door? No, all those beautiful 11 people would be alive today. No one's going to fuck with a Marine. Do you think a 16-year-old nutcase kid would try to get past a couple Marines standing outside a school, protecting our children, our American-born children who have a right to go to school here? Because their parents pay taxes for them to go to school here, they have a right? Do you think anyone would go past a Marine at the entrance to every school and shoot up a school? No, they wouldn't. Do you think on 9/11/01 those terrorists would have gotten on those planes, at least all of them would have gotten on those planes if they had seen a military presence in the airport like they have in Jerusalem, in Israel? Going through the airport in Israel is a scary thing, but nobody blows their planes up. This is where our military belongs. You talk to anyone who signs up to join the military, you know what they say? I want to protect my country. I want to serve my country. The best way to serve your country is to protect our borders, America's borders, American citizens, when they go to school, when they go to church to pray, when they go to a rock concert or a country music concert. That's where we need our military, protecting us, not protecting people who spit on us and spit on the way we live. They don't appreciate us. They don't appreciate our military. They murder them. They spit on them. But our military standing guard in America, protecting Americans, they would be respected for that. No one would spit on them. I'm going to ask you again. Where are these people going to live if they somehow get through our borders? Are you going to pay? Are you going to take them into your home? Are you going to teach them how to speak English? Although I do have to say, the reason I get so upset about this is because my husband and I already pay to support so many American women and their children. American women who have had all the opportunities that these people coming here in this caravan have never had. They've had a free K through high school education offered to them. They blew it. They've had college offered to them. They could take loans. They can get grants. They could have gotten scholarships. They blew that. They decided to go into the career of having babies and living on welfare. Maybe the women in these caravans could teach American women, American mothers, a thing or two. These are women that I do have empathy for. I don't want to pay to support them, but I do have empathy for them because they are willing to walk thousands of miles with their children. And they are willing to work if someone will hire them and give them a job. They want to work. They don't want to sit at home and play games and watch TV and drink booze and smoke cigarettes and, like the American mommies do that are on welfare. They want to work, and they'll take any job you're willing to give them. They'll take jobs that these American welfare moms wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Do you think any of these welfare moms who have a kid every year when they figure their welfare is going to run out, do you think they would ever clean somebody else's toilet when the government is perfectly willing to give them a check every month while they just sit at home and do nothing? The women in these caravans who are coming here with their children are willing to scrub your toilets. They're willing to pick lettuce. They're willing to mow lawns. Anything to give their children a safer and better life. And I have to respect them for that. But the sad thing is, because we have too many American mommies who take advantage of people who get up and go to work every day, we can't afford any more coming in. We can't afford to support you and your children. We just can't. Not until we get our own lazy-ass women, the baby mamas, the birthers, the breeders. We need to get them off their ass and into a job. We need to get them paying taxes and being part of a real community before we can ever invite more in. There's just too many of them anymore. What is it, 40 million families on food stamps? Now we're going to invite couple thousand more, even if it's 500 more. How can we pay for that? Now, you know what the Democrats say, right? The Democrats say, we know how, we'll pay for it. Paula and Jason don't have any kids. Guess what? Your taxes are going up. Angela, you don't have kids. Your taxes are going up. Anyone who doesn't have kids, how dare you not have children? Going to have some today. Going to learn today. We're going to raise your taxes. Support these Guatemalans and Ecuadorians and all these people. Next time you go to the grocery store, the person greeting you at the door will be like, hola, ¿cómo está? I'll be like, what the fuck? I'm in America, not Ecuador. Give me a break. You know what else we need to actually ask these people? Because here's the thing. Do you all remember when Donald Trump was elected president and the Canadian Prime Minister got all snarky and said, don't worry, America. We know you don't want to live under Donald Trump. Just come on up to Canada. You can live here. We'll take you. Well, great. Guess what? Prime Minister Trudeau. We got some people who want to come into North America. How about you take a few of them? You want some of these people? They don't speak English. They're very poor. They have no education. But if you wanted to take American citizens because you felt that Donald Trump was going to destroy our lives, which guess what? We're all still here. Hello. How about take some of the people that feel entitled to just walk into our country and take all the free shit we have to offer? That the Democrats are obviously willing to give them, no questions asked. Maybe we should also inform these members of the caravan how America has treated their darker-skinned citizens. They might not want to come here when they find out that Puerto Rico was hit by a major Category 5 hurricane, and America just went, You know the book Atlas Shrugged? Well, America shrugged. Yeah, they don't have power. It's a shithole country anyway. That's what they said. Donald Trump said it. They had a shitty power line before. Now they don't have power. Maybe we should explain to them that if you come into America and you're dark-skinned and you have an accent or you don't speak good English, we're not so welcoming in some situations. Like if your house is torn apart by a hurricane or you don't have power for a year or so, we really don't give a shit. That's how we treated Puerto Rico. Maybe the members of the caravan should get on their cell phones, which they all seem to have, and I don't know how they get cell phones, since they say they're so poor and impoverished, and they only have the clothes on their back, and they're walking here, but they all have cell phones, and they're recording their entire journey. Maybe they should go on CNN. Let them go on CNN. CNN hates President Trump. They'll tell him like it is. They'll tell him, you come into this country, guess what? If the cops don't kill you first, the hurricanes will, because we don't care. Now, you know I'm being snarky on this, although it was rude the way Puerto Rico was treated after Hurricane Maria, and some people in Puerto Rico are still suffering from that. But my point is, these people have these rosy-colored glasses about America, and they don't understand several real issues. American-born children go to bed hungry every single night. Okay? American children live in tenement slums with cockroaches and rats as their pets. American children are poisoned by rat droppings and bitten by cockroaches every single day in America. Okay? There are gangs in America. There are drug dealers in America. There is murder and crime in America. We don't let our children walk the streets alone anymore in America. So you're coming here and you say you are escaping crime and poverty. Guess what? Welcome to America. We got that too. And those of us with seniority, we've kind of gotten out of the poverty level. Those of us who started out poor, we worked our way up. We have the seniority. You're going to be low men on the totem pole, young women on the totem pole, low children on the totem pole. You're coming in at the bottom. Where do you think you're going to live? What neighborhood do you think you're going to live in? What kind of school district do you think your children are going to go to? Yeah, it might be better than the country you left, but not much better. And the other thing is, the country you left had people there who spoke your language, who knew your traditions, who respected your culture. You're coming into a place, first of all, where a large majority of the people don't want you here. You're coming to a place where people are tired of bending over backwards to have signs in your language in our grocery stores, to have primo numero dos when we call our American bankers or customer service for our cable TV, which you shouldn't be able to afford because you don't have nothing. I hope that if any of these people in the caravan who claim they want to work hard, they want to become Americans, I hope that they're willing to live in a home in a bad neighborhood with a rodent issue. I hope they're willing to work 3 jobs like I did when my husband and I were poor, like my husband worked 2 jobs when we were poor. I hope you're willing to do whatever it takes. I hope you're willing to live without cable TV and high-speed internet and blingy cell phones until you can actually afford to pay for them with the money you earn from going out and working a job. I hope you will work to become a citizen of this great country so that then you have the right to complain when the woman who hired you to clean her toilet garnishes your wages because you broke a lamp or you didn't do something right. See, you don't have the right to complain until you become a citizen, because you're going to be living in the shadows because you are committing a crime by being here. If you get in, you won't be able to call the police if a crime is committed against you, because they will find out and they'll send you back where you came from. We welcome immigrants to this country. We welcome immigrants who have something to offer this country, just as other countries only want me to be in their country if I have something to offer them. And even then, they still say, you can only stay till your visa goes out. You can't be a citizen. You weren't born here. You're out. You come into this country legally, you have an opportunity to at least become a citizen of this country. And few other countries allow anyone to do that. But you got to do it legally. And I'm really sick and tired of mostly these Democrats saying that this isn't how America acts. Well, kudos to Donald Trump for saying, you know what, it's about time America start acting in America's interest. Because we need to put America first. And if that makes us selfish, oh well, then we're selfish. We're just as selfish as England, the Cayman Islands, France, Germany, all the other countries, where you can't just walk in and go, I think I want to buy me a house and live here. Where do I go to get that government aid? Who's going to help me pay for my new house? My phone. I'm going to need cable. I'm going to need internet. Oh, and by the way, my kids, they need to go to school. And I need some groceries. They better have signs up in that grocery store in English, because I don't speak German. I don't speak French. And I don't plan to do it, but I do plan to move here. And you will take care of me because I'm an immigrant. I should be welcomed. No, I'm sorry. It's not the way it works. So whatever you think, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of comments here. Please don't call me a racist, though. This had nothing to do with race. I would be as much against this caravan if they were a bunch of Italians, a bunch of Greeks, a bunch of any nationality. I don't care. They can be white, they can be green, they can be purple. That's not the point. I worry more about what the hell are they going to do when they get here. And if any of you out there are such good people that you're willing to open up your home and take them in and pay their way so that my taxes don't have to, let somebody know. That would be awesome. It would be awesome if every person who screams and yells that we need to let everybody in would take them into their own homes. Let them live with them and their children. Go for it. That's how America used to work when my ancestors came. But it doesn't work like that anymore. And all of a sudden, when immigrants come here illegally and they end up on welfare or in our emergency rooms and in our children's schools, and all of our taxes go up and we all have to pay for it, everybody talks about that bloody village again. Oh, I'm sorry. I've already told you yesterday where my village lies. It's this house, it's me, it's my husband, it's my dog. Sorry. There's no room for Guatemalans, Ecuadorians, Russians, Greeks, any immigrants that want to come here and break our laws. And as far as criminals go, well, we just don't know, do we? People say it's ridiculous when Donald Trump says there could be criminals in this caravan. But what better way? What better way to sneak out of your country when there's an arrest warrant for you than with a group of immigrants that are migrating to America? What better way to get lost if you are a criminal? And I'm not saying they're criminals, but I'll bet you at least a few of them probably are. And they use this caravan of desperate people to hide in plain sight and just sneak on in. Then they're going to spew their criminal behavior into our country, in our neighborhoods, around our children. Think about that too. So I'm interested to hear your comments on this. Tomorrow we're just going to do a fun show. No politics. It's actually going to be about the lottery, which I did not win, obviously, or I wouldn't be here. So I want to thank you all for watching. I know the shows have been a little longer, which I promised you at the beginning of the season they would be, because I want to make sure that I get all of my thoughts out and that I make it clear. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm trying to have an open mind. And at the end of the day, I do believe that I've come to a point where I believe that we start, as Americans, we need to start thinking about ourselves first. Because that's not a sin. To care more about your own family, yourself, and your fellow Americans more than you care about other people in this world who are suffering. It's always sad when people suffer, but we can't save them all. And to our brave troops, it will be a delight to see you on our borders for a change, instead of over in the Middle East where you're not appreciated. Political Paula, out.